Hello everyone, welcome back to One United. News and opinion segment. We haven't had this segment for a while because of one thing and another. But you know what? We're here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna try to do this every week, maybe twice a week. In a segment, and we're gonna bring you all the latest news and give some opinions on the happenings at Manchester United. Right. So well, if you're a United fan, that you should know that this 1 or 2 weeks the headlines has been sort of being stolen by none other than Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, with his customary transfer rumors that he will be back to United. I know we have these rumors all the year, every year, we can say every season we have rumors that Cristiano will return to Manchester United, right? So I think, but this time around, there's a lot more news. There's a lot more sort of noise around it, and it looks like there might be something there. But let's see what the news has to say. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that. Okay, kita mulakan dengan cerita pasal Ronaldo. So I'm gonna interchange between English and bahasa Malaysia if you don't mind. Right. So the story start when us or Martin here. There's a lot to talk about today, so I'm gonna have go through my notes here. As O Martin, he said that sources from Manchester, sumber dari Manchester and Porto said that Manchester United was tempted for Cristiano Ronaldo to return for the club next season, and Ronaldo in a way is willing to analyze, and Juventus are willing to sell if a right offer comes in. This is mostly has to do with monetary, financial and commercial wise. Sebab Juventus tengah tak ada duit because of the COVID apa semua kan, penonton tak boleh main. So I think everyone was hit badly by the COVID, so because of the money issue, so that's why Juventus sort of willing to sell Ronaldo. If I can remember correctly, I see the list of Juventus player wages, gaji player Juventus kan, when aku tengok itu balik. Ronaldo is obviously the first in the list, but it's not only that he's the first. The amount, the difference between the first and the second is mind blowing, man. If I can remember correctly, Ronaldo number 1 is around 28 million. Is that per season? I think in the contract is 28 million. And second is who's that defender? That young defender, Matthias De Ligt. He's on he's not even 10 million. So you can see the disproportion between Ronaldo wages and all the rest of the Juventus play. Even as interesting, even Pirlo wages is much less than Ronaldo. And that article said that Ronaldo wages can pay for Pirlo wages for 17 years. Bayangkan gaji Ronaldo boleh bayar gaji Pirlo 17 tahun. So you just see how much Ronaldo cost Juventus just to have him playing in their team. So that's why if an offer comes in, I think Juventus is more than willing to sell because of the financial issue, right? So like I said, as Martin started that story, right? And then El Grafico added that United have already met Jorge Mendes, right? And give their offer to Ronaldo's agent, which is Jorge Mendes. Not only El Grafico, but also outlets like Record saying this, and Sport Witness, even Fox Sport has reported this, where United met Jorge Mendes. So that makes things very interesting at that point. So I think most United fans started to get excited, and so MU fans more dah start excited lah kan, nampak macam something kat situ lah, right? Something there. But even Duncan Castle said he won't rule out, but Duncan Castle is not the most reliable. But Fabrizio Romano in his podcast, Here We Go podcast. So this obviously this is Fabrizio we're talking about, so has to be one of the most reliable source we can have. He said that there's nothing advanced from either PSG or Manchester United for Cristiano Ronaldo. So the word here is nothing advanced, kan? Nothing advanced, tak ada yang really advanced. So that's kind of like pretty much kill the talk with Jorge Mendes. But when he said nothing advanced, he didn't say there's nothing at all. He just said there's nothing advanced. So if you want to put your hope of that, you can still put, but I would play it safe. if you ask me, firstly I think you need to look at, do we need Cristiano Ronaldo? Fikir balik, kita perlu tak Cristiano Ronaldo? And do Cristiano need us, right? Do they need us? Do he need us? Sorry, not do does he need us? Do he need us? If you think about it, right, our team right now is sort of macam, confident based team. When we on a good run, when we're on form, when we had a break, when if we were leading, we're confident, the players confident, then we more than once we will win games, we'll perform. But when our back is against the wall, when we have a bit of bad luck, that's where the problem comes in, right? That's why we do quite well against the big teams, and sometimes we falter against the small teams, right? Because of this confident issue, that's why we are not consistent. So bringing someone like Ronaldo back, a winner, one of the best in the world, that might change that perception, that so-called bubble that our players are in, which is a confident-based team. Maybe when bringing Ronaldo, you have someone who is with a winning mentality, someone who the opponent would fear. Here's the thing about Manchester United right now: there's not much of a fear factor with Manchester United at the moment. So that's why, hence, they become a confident-based team. When they're confident, they can perform. So if we have someone like Ronaldo, in that sense, it makes sense. I'll use the word. In that sense, it makes sense. Where Ronaldo will come and bring back the fear factor. So when the fear factor is back, the player's confidence is there. It's gonna be back. So when that happens, so we're gonna play well. So if you ask me, honestly, I see our team has really a lot of potential with all the young players and the mix of experience that we have. I just think our team needs a bit of that X factor. Someone like Ronaldo, obviously. A bit of the X factor, to push this team to be a title challenger. For now, they're too inconsistent to be title challengers. So it remains to be seen if they can change that. But if you bring someone like Ronaldo, with all the fear factor, with the personality, with the charisma, and obviously with the ability on the pitch, then this team, the confidence of the players will improve, and they might be more consistent. This will really push this United team to be title challengers. So if talking about that, if you look at in that point of view, it makes sense to bring back Ronaldo, right? Because he does give that thing that the X factor that we need, that we lack a bit at the moment, right? But from Ronaldo's point of view, does he need United? Will he come back to United? If you look at it, he's been to Real Madrid. Now he's at Juventus. The only club that he can go that is not a step down, it's either go to PSG, because he didn't play the French league yet, and he didn't want French league yet, so he might be tempted to go to another league. But let's be honest, the French league is not as as prestige as either the La Liga, the Serie A, or the Premier League itself. So if he were to come back to Premier League, there's no way he will go to other team. There's no way he will go to City. There's no way he'll go to Liverpool. That's not gonna happen. There's no way he's gonna go to Chelsea. So the most viable option would still be Manchester United. Look at that. There is a slight possibility where this happens. Especially when a report saying that Juventus started willing to sell, and Ronaldo might consider his option. So looking at things, if Ronaldo does move, there really is possibility and chance that he might consider, or he might come to United. But I'm not sure if United are willing to do that. I'm not sure if the financial package suits Ronaldo. If he was willing to take a pay cut, which I don't think he will, right, it might make sense. And if he willing to come to United and accept that he won't play week in, week out, because we have a lot of young players, right? He won't play week in, week out. He will play in the important games, obviously, but if he can accept that new role, and the financing and the commercial side is makes sense for United, then it can happen. It can happen. Like I said, he might want to go to. I forgot to mention about the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich, but I'm not sure if Bayern Munich can afford him, has the money, has the finances to afford him. So it's very interesting to see where Ronaldo will end up. He might stay at Juventus, but if he does move, Manchester United is certainly one of the highest possibility where club if he can come. So it'd be very interesting to see, right? And again, some other news, some other statements said that, records say that he will analyze the offer for Manchester United, although he is currently focused winning titles with Juventus. And then Manchester Evening News kind of like killed this story. He said that United have no plans to re-sign Cristiano Ronaldo despite recent reports. United sources have laughed off the suggestion of any deal was currently being discussed. So if you look at it, like I said, anything is possible at the moment. So don't rule anything out, but do not be too optimistic or too hopeful. I think that's the key in being a fan, in Manchester United fan in every transfer window, right? Keep your option open, but don't be too optimistic, right? So if you ask me personally, like I said, if Ronaldo can accept, not starting week in, week out, then I think he will be a really good asset for Manchester United, because I don't want him coming in and demanding to play week in, week out, and and the development of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, because I really love seeing these three young players play and develop. So my concern is whether Ronaldo will come in and hinder their development, and especially we have Cavani now, right, in our books. So that really gonna give a lot of selection headache for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But if they can find a balance, if he accept his role because of his age, right, he's not gonna play every week, and he can contribute a different way to the team, then that would be okay for me. But as of now, I really don't see this happening. I would say the chance of this happening is 30%. That's my personal view, right? My personal 30%, right? This is happening. So that's about Cristiano. A lot of reports has been said, especially in Twitter. So if you want to read our article today about this session, about the news I'm talking about in this live session, you can go to our website www.oneunited.com. We already published that article, the news roundup article for today. You can check that out. Okay, going to our next story. It's about Mason Greenwood, apparently. So Greenwood, since his mistake that he did with England during the international, that controversy, seems like he's being hounded. He's been attacked by the English media. There's a story coming out that he was late to training. He looks lazy in training. Right? So, and most recently, there's news about a Premier League youngster who is in his 20s, being arrested for suspicion of rape and false imprisonment in his home. That's a really big accusation. But a lot of people, a lot of fans in social media start to speculate that that is Greenwood. So I think that's really disrespectful of Greenwood. And firstly, he's not 20; he's just 18 going to 19. So that's not, the age is not accurate. And he had some personal problems, especially when one of his best friends just passed away, committed suicide. So that thing affected him personally. I think that's what you see, in terms of his body language, in terms of his performance, that kind of affected him personally. Okay, it's raining heavily at my place here, so I apologize if that the rain sound kind of like interrupt my voice, but hopefully you guys can still hear me clearly. And I'm going to read you guys some of the comments here. Rumors swirling around Mason Greenwood after this report are entirely false. This is not him. He is not in his 20s. He is 19. I just said that, right? So some fans already started to come out to defend Greenwood. They said article regarding the arrested Premier League player has now confirmed it isn't Mason Greenwood. So he has been confirmed it's not Mason Greenwood. Not that there was any evidence suggested that it was other than Twitter speculation. It's crazy how often that this happens these days. Right? MUFC Red Army says that, so it turns out Mason Greenwood has lost a friend to suicide recently. Yet in spite of that, the media has piled on him and have made it out to be the villain. Let's all support Mason. He needs it. I really agree with this statement. Like I said, there's a lot of story talking about Greenwood in the media about his and all this is negative. So I think Greenwood really needs our support right now because of all this negativity in the media. I think this is quite typical of United players. The media always love to talk about United players, always love to make especially negative headlines about United players because that sells paper, right? And in this social media age, that creates traffic. So expect all this, all this nonsense to continue. And not enough with Greenwood, right? Now they are started to attack Marcus Rashford, right? Because he's been in the news for all the right reasons. Now they start to attack him. Now the Daily Mail has made an article on Marcus Rashford purchasing 5 property worth more than 2 million. The idea here, the article saying that if you so care about the public, care about the people, like he did with his free meal campaign for the kids, why do you purchase too many properties? Because that would spike the property market, sort of. So I think this is quite ridiculous, the story about this. You want to, it's just a clickbait story, if you ask me. It's just a clickbait story, something to generate traffic, something to generate engagement to their site, right? There's nothing at all. If I like this MAFC Red Army again, he made a comparison between the 2 headlines, one about Foden, one about Rashford, both about buying properties for their family. And the Foden headline or title is Man City starlet Phil Foden buys new 2 million home for his mom. Sounds really positive, buying 2 million home for his mom. But Rashford, what a result! Campaigning football star Marcus Rashford has bought 5 luxury homes worth more than 2 million. You can see the difference in that headline. So definitely United players are being attacked here for no substantial reason. And talking about Foden just now, he is involved with that controversy with Greenwood during the international with England, but he did not get the same treatment as Greenwood. So you can see here how the media likes to use Manchester United players' name to gain traffic. So don't believe everything you read in the media. I know some fans start, some of my friends are asking around because they start to get concerned on the Greenwood situation, like he was late for training, he was not focused, and the media even have written an article that says that United are concerned that Greenwood might turn into a new Ravel Morrison. I think we all know about Ravel Morrison, what happened with him. The interesting thing about the article, Rio Ferdinand retweeted that article and said that, and asked the Sun, who wrote that article, I'm sorry, is that the Sun? I think it was the Sun. And Rio Ferdinand said that, which Manchester United official that you've spoken to? I think that's really clever of Ferdinand, being sarcastic there. So like I said, don't trust everything you read in the newspaper. I think our club will always protect, especially our young players. Since Ferguson, you see how he protects Ronaldo, how he protects Rooney, and this is what we did. We did protect Mason Greenwood from all these media attention, but the moment he was in the England setup, all hell break loose. So I think that's why Oli said that no more until everything subsides. Greenwood will not be involved in the international. I think it is a really good decision by Oli. Okay, so moving on. Paul Pogba again. Paul Pogba. Every time there's an international break, controversy will break out concerning Paul Pogba. So the latest one, regarding his statement, he said that I had never known such a difficult period in my career. He's talking about his time at Manchester United right now, and he said the France team is a breath of fresh air. The group is exceptional. It's magic. He said it's magic. So if you look at that, it's kind of like he said he's more happy when is with the international team than he was when he's with United. I have to read the full context of the statement. I didn't have that yet, so I'm not going to pass any judgment because you know how easy words can be spun by the media and taken out of context. But this is not the first time Pogba did this, especially before the start of season. He said he time for new challenges. Yeah, he said those kind of things, and he said it was a dream to play for Real Madrid. So Paul Pogba always making up this statement, which this vague statement that allow media to spin on it. So I don't know if he knows what he's doing here, right? But to be fair, yes, you can say that he's just being true, that in the sense that he has a difficult period right now as a Manchester United player, with him not playing, with him not being on form. So in that sense, I think he's just being honest. So not much issue with me if he said that. But the way he said it, I think with the next sentence being, the French team is a breath of fresh air, seems like make it sound like he's relieved, getting out from Manchester United. And he keep doing this in international break. Every time there's an international break, every time Pogba was not in the Manchester United setup, controversy will rise with his statement. So I'm not sure what Paul Pogba has in his heart and in his mind, whether he really want to be with Manchester United, right? And Fabrizio Romano also stated that United wanted to extend Paul Pogba contract, but there's nothing advanced yet. With regard to Paul Pogba, I think I said this in my previous video. At the moment, he poses more question and answer, right? Especially where to play Paul Pogba, what's the best system to fit him, can he play Bruno Fernandes? Like I said, more question than answers. So you know what? If first I would say I really like Paul Pogba, one of my favorite players in terms of talent, in terms of ability. I think he's might be the best that we have at Manchester United. But did he produce? Yes, he produced from time to time, especially during Solskjaer interim season. That season he did produce well, but long term, does he really see himself being successful at Manchester United player? And at the moment, I didn't see that, especially with him not playing, with him not being first choice at the moment. It's hard for me to see Paul Pogba being a long-term Manchester United player. So that's why I feel, although I really want him to succeed here, but you know what, if he feels that his heart was not 100% in Manchester United, I think maybe it's time we cut loose. Maybe it's time we sold him. Then that might be a win-win for everyone. That's what I feel. Because it's a lot of headache now with Paul Pogba, right? With the statement he made, with controversy, with his performance on the pitch. I know he was, unfairly treated or unfairly criticized by the media and some section of the fans, but overall, his time at Manchester United has been, kind of start-stop, and a lot of controversy surrounding his future. So I'm not sure if that's, that's good for a long term, but we need to see. But as long as if he's committed and he do want to play, he do want to be successful at Manchester United, then I'm all for it, and I really hope he will succeed. It will be a success in Manchester United. But at the moment, again, I'm gonna end with that. He poses more question than answer at the moment. Alright, so let's see what happens in the future. Okay, there's more transfer news I'm gonna talk about now. But before that, we'll talk a bit about Alex Telles. There's some positive news about Telles. Earlier this morning in Malaysia time, he was again diagnosed with COVID-19. So at that point, I was really unlucky for Telles, right? But after another test later today, so the Brazilian FA has confirmed that he was tested negative, and he was released for the international game against Uruguay, if I'm not mistaken. So and MUFC United will assess again whether he might be available against West Brom, but they're optimistic that he can play against West Brom, which is good news. But they're pointing that he was tested negative, so hopefully he can play against West Brom, especially with Luke Shaw injured. I was really excited to see Telles starting in the Premier League, but that's why I was really bummed when he tested positive again for COVID-19. But now seems like there's a big chance he can play, so let's hope he will play, right? Okay, let's talk about some more transfer news. Okay, this is concerned. Okay, I'm gonna read the headlines sort of to you guys. Okay, Manchester United are still keen on Jadon Sancho again, and are contemplating trying to strike a deal with Borussia Dortmund early in 2021, prior to the European Championship. So they're saying we might go for Sancho back next in the end of this season. Okay, Manchester United have pledged their interest in signing Upamecano next year, with Man City and Real Madrid also interested in signing him. And now I've heard that Bayern Munich has entered the party in wanting to sign Dayo Upamecano. So let's see what happens there. But like I said last time, he was a Manchester United fan. So, and his release clause was really attractive. It's less than 40 million. So he gonna be hugely contested for his signing, right? If we really want him, we really have to pull out the stops in convincing him to choose Manchester United. Because like I said, because he's cheap, so that's why I think a lot of big clubs will try and go for him. So the key is to convince him that he is the future of Manchester United. And one of my favorite players, again, Jack Grealish, remains a target for Manchester United, who sees him as the ideal replacement for Paul Pogba. United are confident of signing him in January for 50 million euros. Talk will start in the next few days. Henderson or Lingard could end up at Aston Villa. Okay, so Villa wanted to sell him for 80 million, but apparently he was available for 50 million in January when he is on form and on fire at the moment. So I don't think that 50 million it's true, right? There's no way Villa is going to sell him for 50 million euros. Okay, Henderson or Lingard could end up at Aston Villa as a swap deal. That might happen, especially Lingard. But even that, I don't think they will knock the price down to 50 million. I think the least we can get him is around 60 euros, 70, around that value if we really want him. And it's January as well, so Villa might not want to sell, and that might knock the price a bit much further up. So I think this is quite it's quite ridiculous sort of claim to be made by this journalist. Moving on, Manchester United have already activated the operation to sign Camavinga. Camavinga has rejected a renewal offer from Rennes. So I think I shared in my last news and opinion video. Is it? No, I didn't think so. We didn't have that session. Sorry, we did have that article, by the way, talking about Camavinga. So this is one player that has been linked with United for quite some time now. So I think he might be the perfect replacement for Paul Pogba if you want to replace Paul Pogba. But again, if we were to get someone like Camavinga, I don't want the Paul Pogba situation happens again, you know, where he comes in, then we're not sure whether we should play him, we're not sure whether he fits the system, whether we should play with a 2 double pivot with Fred and McTominay, and that's why we don't play him again. So if we were to go for someone like Camavinga, I want us to be clear on the way forward of our system, how we want to play, right? Not just purchase any good players and hopefully just can, you know, shoehorn them in the team. Okay, next headline: Manchester United will likely focus on signing a centre back and a right winger in the January transfer window. That's from Manchester United Evening News. Okay, this is a new one, interesting one. Eric Bailly, representative, said that it is important context such as that of United before evaluating an exit. There must be absolutely valid situation. The Milan idea may have logic, but we need to evaluate many implications. So he's talking about Eric Bailly is, you know, considering to leave Manchester United if the situation does not improve, and Milan is one of the option for him, right? So I think if we do get Upamecano, I think it's really possible if Bailly were to leave, right? Okay, lastly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is keen on signing Braga defender David Carmo, as he is a centre-back capable of playing on the left side of the centre-back pairing because he is left-footed. So this is a new, by ESPN, this is a new rumours going on. And lastly, Dean Henderson might consider a loan move in January to try and force his way into the England squad. Okay, this Henderson loan or you know, exit story a bit baffles me a bit, because we get him, you know, only call him to be the number 2, so that, you know, we have really good competition for so-called David De Gea. And the fact that Romero was not in the squad, this tell that, you know, they are ready to let Romero go. So it would be weird if we let Henderson go and then only leave ourselves with Lee Grant as the number 2. So I don't think that makes sense whatsoever. Yes, Henderson might want to play more because of Euro Championship, but I'm not sure if Manchester United would want to let him leave. I think Henderson clearly has an idea or knows the situation when he agrees to come back to United and said that he want to fight for his place. I think he would know by that, at that point, that he would have to really fight. But De Gea would still be number one and will play most of the game, but he will still play a lot of games. So I don't think he will leave. That's my personal looking at the whole situation. I don't think he will leave. I think he will stay. I don't think it makes sense from United point of view, and don't make sense why Henderson wanted to move after making a decision to stay at United, to be the number 2 to fight for his place. So soon he wanted to move. So I don't see that happening, right? Okay, so I already talked about Telles. Other news, this is quite interesting and quite exciting, I would say. United are apparently willing to take Edwin van der Sar and Overmars to become, sort of the technical footballing team, director of football, because Van der Sar Overmars has made a public statement saying that they want a new challenge. So that's kind of like me, come and get me plea to United. So interesting to see what happens there, because I think a lot of the fans has talked about taking Van der Sar as putting Van der Sar in the capacity of director of football, technical director at Manchester United. So now it seems like he might be available very soon. Let's see what United might do, right? Let's see what they do. Be very interesting, and I would be very happy if we were to get him. At long last, we have a director of football, but this is United, so like I said, don't put your hopes high. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna talk a bit about the Glazers. You know that our financial report has been announced, right? Apparently, the Glazers will receive an 8.7 million dividend in January, despite the club resisting calls to pay member of the staff a real living wages less than a week ago. That is so Glazers, right? We're making losses, right? We are making losses. Let me check. I forgot how many losses that we make. I might share that with you guys later on in our Facebook page on the financial reports. But even though we make losses, they will still take 8.7 million dividend, right? So that's another thing about the Glazers ownership. We keep losing, right? Okay, so that's all the time we have here today on our news and opinion segment. So thanks for joining us, right? So obviously we're gonna have football back this weekend. So against West Brom, so make sure you join us. We're gonna have new video uploads for that. We're gonna have the analisa pihak lawan. There's a Malay punya video analisa pihak lawan against for West Brom, and we're gonna have the pass predictor. Right? Hopefully we get a better result in pass predictor for that match against West Brom. And obviously we're gonna have our watch along for that game against West Brom. So make sure you join us. Right? Again, thanks for joining me today, and thanks for those who watch this video on recording. Please make sure you like, subscribe the video, and give your comments, especially on the Ronaldo issue. Very interested to know whether you guys, fancy Ronaldo coming back to United. Do you think it's a good move for United were to get him? Right? And of course, the enigma that is for Pogba. What do you think? Should we sell him? Should we keep him? Is he good enough to be mentioned probably long term? Okay, so I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for